second essentials of contract of payment is return of goods after the purpose is achieved. What was the first essential? Delivery of goods for some purpose. Now when the purpose is achieved, return of goods. What did we study in section 148 of contract of payment? It told us that very clearly that one person is transferring the possession of a property to another for what? For some purpose. And when the purpose is accomplished or when it is fulfilled, the person can ask it back, can ask for the return of the goods, or he can give some directions in which the goods can be disposed of. Got it? Clear? It was very clear from the definition. Two very important points after the purpose is completed. It is your last part of the definition. Once the purpose is completed or when it is achieved, it can be returned back to the owner, bailer, or it can be disposed of as per the directions of the owner or bailer. Why I am repeating owner or bailer is so that you remember it. It should be there in your mind that as soon as one says bailer, it is the owner, the person who is delivering the goods. Bailee, person who is receiving the goods. Fine. Now we got to know from the definition that there should be a return of goods. This particular thing, whatever we study in the last part, that is return of goods or dispose it of as per the directions of the bailer, is the most important thing. This is what is differentiating this particular transaction, that is the contract of bailment, from all the others. It may be a gift or it may be a sale of goods or other contracts. Whatever you study, it is differentiating. Don't you think it is differentiating from your contract of indemnity and guarantee, from your sale of goods? Don't you think it is differentiating? Yes, this particular unique feature differentiates from other contracts or other sales. So do remember always the last part. Got it? So now let's take an examples for this. Return of goods. So actually, to be very frankly speaking, you don't even know. Every day you keep entering into this contract of payment, not expressly. See how do you enter this? See, you have a cloth piece. You go to a tailor and you give your cloth to get it stitched into a suit, right? So that is also a contract of bailment. What is happening? You are not transferring the ownership, you are only transferring the possession, and you are asking him, you are giving him the directions. See, I want this cloth to be like this. Get it stitched like this form. You show him the design, you ask him to get it stitched. Then don't you think it is a contract of bailment? Yes, it is a contract of bailment. Do remember, henceforth, if you go to a tailor, that is again a contract of bailment. Other examples also. This happens in our everyday life. You have some gold with you, a gold biscuits or some gold mass. You go to a goldsmith and ask him to make it into beautiful jewelry. What is it? Yes, again it is a contract of bailment. So you are entering into a contract of bailment every day, which you are not aware of it. You are transferring the possession of gold. You are not transferring the ownership. You are giving the gold to the goldsmith and showing him a particular design and telling him, I want this to be made in this design. So you are directing him to make it into this design and return it back to you. Right? Yeah, you are paying money for that. That is different. But this is your contract of bailment. Right? Another simple example you can take. You have a wheat or you have ragi. You go and give it to your millets. You go and give it to the mills and they convert it into a flour. What is it again? Yes, these are all the examples of your bailment. So you come across every day but still you are not aware of it. Please notice all these things. You are not transferring the possession, right? So these are the simple examples. When you deposit some, this question arises. When you deposit some money in the bank, does it become contract of bailment. Do you think it comes under contract of bailment? So it is actually not a contract of bailment because you deposit certain amount. Suppose you deposit 5,000 and the notes are 100 denominations. So you're depositing it to the bank, and whenever you want to withdraw it from the bank, they don't give you the same notes, right? So it is not the same thing what you are getting back. So you don't consider that bailment. So again, you're getting the equivalent amount of it. Whatever you have given, you're not getting back, but an equivalent amount of it, right? Same thing in the case of principal and agent. He gives some money, and when he asks him in return from the agent, for some purpose is giving the money, and I think that purpose is not fulfilled or something. He says, please return me the money back. He need not return the same money again. Equivalent sum, that is sufficient, right? Now the question is, the next question comes to us is, you just want to still know about what is bailment, when it is returned, is it a proper bailment, when does it become a proper bailment and all. Now let's see this. We have few case laws. Secretary of State of India in Council versus Shio Singh. This case is very simple. We'll deal with this contract of bailment related aspects. What happens in that case is, the government, there are some government promissory notes, and that government promissory notes are being given to the treasury to get it cancelled and to consolidate all the amount, whatever the amount is there in the promissory notes, and to consolidate the amount and to give it to the give it in higher denomination. That is higher denomination, higher value, all those money. Now the question was, is this a bailment? It was said that no, it is not a bailment. Why it is not a bailment? Because since the same was not written, whatever the value is given, same thing was not written. Promissory notes were given. The money was of higher denomination. So the same thing was not written which was given by the bailer to payee. Got it? It is not at all a contract of bailment. In the next case, Kalyani Breweries Limited versus State of West Bengal. In this case, what happened? The appellant had brewed and he sold the beer bottles. Beer and just beer bottles. He used to collect the exact amount of money what was there in the bottles. He was collecting it, and he also said that apart from the contents of the bottles, if they give back the empty bottles, if the person who has bought the bottles, to whom he has sold, if he gives back the bottles, they are going to give the same money, give the exact money, return back the exact money. Now the question here was it a bailment? You got the facts? Facts is very clear. The person, along with the contents in the beer bottle, he sold the bottle. And after the empty bottle, when the bottle was returned back, whatever the empty bottle, it was returned back, the amount, whatever was what was given earlier while buying it, was returned back to the person who is returning the bottle. Same amount was given back. Exactly the same. The question which came before the court relevant to our contract of bailment was this a contract of bailment? It was held that there was sale of bottles. They were selling the bottles, and this does not come under the sale of contract of bailment. Instead, this is liable under sales tax. It is not a contract of payment. For you, the important point is it is not a contract of payment. It does not come under the contract of payment, and there is no bailer and bailey relationship here. Got it? So I think you're clear with these two cases, which says that there is no existence of bailment. Same thing is not written. Please do remember. The next part is in the written. Constructive bailment do not confer any right to the stranger. Stranger is a person whom you don't know at all. Somebody, some person, random person. Now, before understanding what is constructive bailment, this point, we have to know the delivery of possession. I had discussed the delivery, right? Delivery means transfer of possession. Under that section 149, what did it say? Any, what may be, or whatever, if it is delivered to the bailee, it may be in the form of anything, first point. It may be the form of anything which is delivered to the intended bailee. Got the point? Section 145, 149, I'm sorry, remember, anything delivered to the bailee, transfer of possession to the bailee, intended bailee, or to his authorized person, that forms a delivery, right? Section 149, do remember. Here, 149, your section 149. Under that, I told you, the word anything means, it denotes that there can be actual delivery or a constructive delivery. So now the time has come to understand what is actual and constructive delivery. What is actual delivery? We took the example of pen. So I am giving this pen to my friend. Okay, in the class, you please take down the notes and give it back to me. I am the owner of this pen. I am transferring the possession to my friend. She is at time being having the possession of this pen, not the ownership of the pen. She is writing the notes, and soon after the class is over, she is returning me the pen. Fine. This was what I explained. So even here, actual means physical possession. I am giving the physical possession. There is this possession. My dear friend, please take it, write it, and give it back to me, since you don't have a pen. So actual means always physical possession. Now, what is constructive? Constructive means it need not be physical delivery. How, ma'am, without physical delivery or not? You told me that there should be a transfer, there should be a delivery, everything. Then now we are saying, how come it should not be there can be a transfer without physically handing over the property? How is it possible? The question may arise in your mind. So at times it happens that you did not actually physically give the goods to them, but still there is this contract of bailment and there is this delivery happening under the contract of bailment. How? Let us take an example. There is a cinema projector. My friend is having a cinema projector in a cinema hall. Example. She needs some money now. She says that, see, I am running under losses. I need some money urgently. I have some other loan to repay. Since you are my friend, I am asking you the loan. I say that, see, whatever it is, I say that, oh, please give me something as even I am under some difficulties. I also need the money, but not for time being. Maybe after 1 year, I have to pay loan for something else which I have taken. So in case if you don't pay, I should have a security. Please give me certain security, so I will be on a safer side. Then my friend says, I have the cinema projector in my cinema hall. Please take it. I pledge it to you. I'll say, okay, fine. Since you are my friend, please give it to me. I will take it. I'll have that possession. So what she does, she pledges that to me. But I won't be taking that projector to my house and keeping it safely. I tell her that, see, you use the projector meanwhile in your cinema hall. Let others watch the cinema, whatever it is. You please have it, but I will be the owner for that. Since she has pledged the goods to me, I'll be the owner for that. Got it? So here what it means, she has got the possession of it. She is still in the possession of that projector. But to whom she has given it, ownership is with me now. Since she has pledged it, but she is in the possession of it. Got it? This is constructive delivery. Got it? Simple. Constructive delivery. There is no physical possession of it. Remember this projector properly. I don't have any cinema hall to have the cinema projector with me. She is having a cinema hall and she is having a projector with her. I say that you play the cinemas using that cinema projector. You take the possession of it, but I have the ownership with it. That's all. Clear? Yes. That is constructive and actual delivery. So remember this, delivery of possession, actual and constructive, these are very important. Next one, coming back to this, constructive bailment. Constructive bailment do not confer any right to the stranger. What did we study under the section 149? 149 made us very clear that saying that, what did it say? It is only delivered to, it may be delivery of possession, transfer of possession can take place only to the intended bailee. He is the bailee, to him only it has to be given, or to any person authorized by him. Authorized by him, got it? Maybe that bailee is a principal and he has an agent. So that agent is authorized by the principal bailee. So only to him we have to give. Got it? So you need not give it to the stranger. This is what it says. Whenever there is a constructive delivery, whenever there is no actual delivery, actual is you are giving a physical possession. I am saying take this pen. But in case of constructive delivery, remember that cinema projector, you cannot give it to someone, you cannot confer the right. See, you are not saying transfer of possession here. You don't say transfer of possession. You say confer right. Got it? Remember, when you are conferring the right, that means you do not have the physical possession of it, you are conferring the right. Got it? You are conferring the right to the, you are not conferring the right to the stranger, only to the bailee or his authorized person. The next part is hiring of lockers. This locker thing is be repeating throughout. So, hiring locker not a bailment. Why do you say that hiring locker is not a bailment? We need more technical reason for this. So I take a locker from a bank. Now do you think the bank people are aware of what are the contents I am keeping in the bank? Do they know the valuables or what is the amount of the valuables I am keeping in the bank? Or else if I am not keeping any valuables? That may also happen. So the bank is not aware what is there in the locker. So we are not even giving the possession to him. There is no transfer, there is no delivery also here. We are just going and keeping it. So he doesn't know anything, what is there, what is happening also. And it was also said that in one of the case, see, you cannot know the contents of the locker also, and you cannot know you cannot measure the quantum of damages also. If at all if there is any losses, since you are not aware of it also, you cannot measure how much is the quantum of losses that you have to pay to him in case if there is some mishappening or something happens to the locker, the contents of the locker. So nothing can be done. So that's why it is said that sine qua non, which says that it is very essential. Whenever you enter a contract of bailment, it is very essential to you to know that there should be a transfer of possession. There should always be a transfer of possession. Here there is no transfer happening, nothing is happening. So that is why in Atul Mehra versus Bank of Maharashtra, it was said that since there is nothing happening, no transfer of possession is happening or nothing, they are just giving the locker, they are not aware what is there in the locker, or they are not aware of the contents in the locker, or if at all if they become liable also, they don't know what is the quantum of damages they have to pay. Nothing is known. That is why under bailment they don't become liable. So this was decided in the case Atul Mehra versus Bank of Maharashtra. So this, whenever you are writing about lockers, please do remember this case, what happened in this case, and with this particular thing, that is sine qua non. That means it is very essential that there should be transfer of possession, which is not taking place in case of hiring a locker. The bank can never become a bailee. Got it? Clear. So These were two major things, two essentials of a valid contract of payment. In order to become a valid, so there should be always delivery of possession and return of goods. So it keeps on repeating. So these were the things. Do you remember this case? This was relating to some promissory notes which were to be consolidated into higher denomination. Do you remember our daily examples? What I gave you, a goldsmith, cloth and wheat flour or anything, any millets or anything you take, you go to mills and you get it converted into flour. And Kalyangi breweries, it comes under the sales tax. And constructive payment. Before answering the constructive payment, try to know what is delivery of possession under the actual and constructive delivery. Then hiring of lockers is never a payment.